Let us first look into the model. Here we are creating our entity, and the table name is employee table, and the schema we create is employee. So before we get into this, let us see how we are creating a database. Go to our SQL workbench and try to set up a new connection. So if it is, if you're creating a new connection, you have to set it up this way. If there's already connection existing, then you don't have to go back to creating a new connection. So we'll create a test connection, and the host name will be this, and the default port number is K06, and the username is root, and the password when I created my first one was admin. So basically by default it's root, so you can change it or put it anything you want. So for second time or the third time you create, it will be stored in the vault, and you have to just type it back here and click on OK. So then you have to test your connection, and once you give the details, what you get is you get a successful MySQL connection will be established after all this. Then click on OK. Go to your connection, create you. This is already the database I created for my application here. And if you want a new database, you can just go with creating a schema and then creating a table. So give your new schema name, apply, apply, and your schema will be created. And after creating that, go into your schema and create your table. So here we are creating a new table. So previously when I said about the employee key being the primary key, you'll have to set it here. So you have to give your ID, give the data type here, whether it is a primary key or not. So our ID here will be a primary key, and we'll give a not null value. Once we create all our columns, we click on apply and finish. So this is how we created our database here. So let us look into the one which we've already established. So this is my schema. The schema name is employee. So if you remember in the model, we made sure that the schema name is same as the schema name in our workbench. So it has to match. Same with the table name. We gave our table name as employee table. So here in our model, we have our all the column names. We have to make sure that all the names here are matching with our database. So let us just see. This is the database we've created, and here in employee table, we have columns with ID as a primary key, name, text, and gender is also text. We have department and date of birth. So all of these are matching with our model. So that has to be made sure. And the schema name and also the table name are same. So once that is done, we'll see how our table looks like. Select start from employee dot employee table. So this is our table here, and all the values are not null, and we can either enter the values from here, or whenever we are entering it from our UI, the data is stored here in our database. So I hope the database part is clear. And here in the model, we've also defined our getters and setters. So I hope it's clear to you with the database connectivity. And let us now run our application and see how it's working. So to run our application, we have to go to Spring Boot application and run it. We'll just wait for it to complete. So it says Tomcat started on the port 888, and our application is running. So while this is done, we'll have to create a jar file. And for that, the command is mvn clean install. So if there's already a jar file created, it will try to delete it in the target folder. The target folder here will be deleted, and it tries to create it again. Now let's enter our data into our employee director and see if it's reflecting back in our database, and we'll verify it in the postman. So I'll give my name as Sam, department would be HR, gender male, and date of birth. And when I save my records, it shows the status as data successfully updated. Okay, so you can view your records now. So all the data in the database is now recorded, and you can see your latest entries here in the last row. Now the next step is to verify it in our database. Is it reflecting back in our SQL? So go to your workbench and execute it. Yes, the 14th entry employee is Sam. So it is reflecting back in our database as well. So this is it with the front end part, and if you still want to verify it from your postman, you can go there and your URL localhost we have it here. So we send the request, and yeah, we are getting back our data here with the same ID name. Let us see if our latest record is entered as well. So yeah, so here is our 14th record, Sam HR. Yeah. So it is reflecting back in our postman as well. So this is it with our application. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel.